Ua mau ke au ka aina I ka pono Hawaii Malama ia Na iwi Hulama ia Na kua
As you can see, there's a lot to learn. I want to say mahalo to the two presenters. They gave lots of good information, and hopefully some of the videos are going to go out, because when I listen, I go home, I forget at least half of what they said. So I got to go back, and when there's a video, I go over the video a couple of times, 3 times, because it's a lot to take in. It's a lot. And what we knew before is old. What is happening now is happening every day. We're learning more and more and more every day. So I want to say mahalo to these two presenters here. It makes my job really easy tonight. So I want to talk about Aupuni. It's happening right now. It's going on right now. It was pushed down our throats, come hell or high water, they was going to push this thing through. And the end result could be devastating to us as Hawaiians. So for me, it's like, we got to do something now. And we can keep talking about this thing being not pono and all the reasons why it's not pono. But I don't know if we get that much time to keep talking about that. We have to do something now. So for me, the first thing I did was, I made a big mistake. I did a knee-jerk thing. When somebody says there's a beef going on over there, the first thing I do is I go over there. And I like beef. So when Aupuni was forced on us, and we tried for about 1.5 years to stop this thing and to make it at least a level playing field. But the Office of Hawaiian Affairs, those old guys, you guys got to get those old guys out of there and put some new blood in there. Those old guys were deaf, and they wouldn't listen to the young OPO and all of the information that was coming out. They wouldn't listen. So they forced this thing. So I said, well, if the thing is forced, I'm going to go over there and beef with these guys. So I signed up with the intent it was going to be a good fight. I want to be in a good fight. So I went inside there. Then when I saw how the thing was so hardwired and so rigged that no matter what I did, it wasn't going to do any good. All it was going to do was I was going to go inside there, bring my mana, and they're going to say, look, everybody came in to participate. All kinds of people came. Independence people came. So this thing was wide open to everybody. And I've been to many meetings like that. Like the DOI comes to Hawaii, and all they do is have a meeting, and they're going to say we had 500 guys at the meeting, therefore, you know, they can go back now and make a report because they did what they're supposed to do. And at that meeting, almost 100% of the people, maybe 99% of the people said, go home. Then they come back and they say, here are the rules that you guys wanted. So it's like they're going through a process, and it's all rigged. And no matter what you do, as long as you participate, you're stuck in it. So I came to the realization that if I went in there, they was just going to use my participation to put validity, to take my mana and put it into this end result, which is going to be federal recognition. This thing is set up to make us become part of the United States even closer than we are now. We're going to be stuck to that umbilical cord. Well, maybe not so much the umbilical cord, but to the tit that we're going to be, that gives us money. That's what this whole thing is about. That's what my cousin John Wahe'e was pushing for all of this stuff. It's because they did the Kaka Bill, they did Aupuni out of fear. This thing was born out of fear. They were afraid because they had some legal lawsuits that they lost at the Office of Hawaiian Affairs, where everybody could vote, not just Hawaiians. So that was the writing on the wall that put fear into everybody. So they said, we need to get closer to the United States. We need to be recognized by the United States so that we don't have to be fearful. If you listen to the young generation up at Mauna Kea, and if you attended any of the DOI hearings, what you would have heard was, the hell with the money. The hell with the money. We want our independence. It was a totally different voice that was coming. And I attended those DOI hearings, and it was loud and it was clear. The goal was not to be part of the United States, a closer part of the United States. The goal when you came to those hearings was independence. These young people know who they are. They know that our kingdom was born because of Kamehameha I. He not only galvanized the islands, but he was the first one to go out there and seed his island. The island, Hawaii. He was the conqueror of Hawaii first. He ceded those lands to England. And he used that to build his army in order to solidify the rest of the islands. Then his son, Kamehameha III, in 1843, right? In 1843, he did more than what his father did. He went out and he got treaties, international treaties, with Great Britain and France. And then that started when the Hawaiian Islands had treaties or consulates with like 80 to 90 different countries. So that is our history. That's who we are. We're not the guys sucking the tits of the United States. We are an independent nation, the Hawaiian Kingdom. So the young generation, they know that, they believe that inside of them. That the kingdom exists today. Yes, they took the head of our kingdom away, but the sovereignty is still there. Our sovereign, supreme powers are still there over these lands. They believe that. That is why it is so important for us to stop Na'i Aupuni. Na'i Aupuni is going to make us dependent of the United States. We, the people here in Hawaii, we have a very unique, different history of our relationship with the United States. Very different. I'm not quite sure how different it is from the Indian nation, because I don't know that history very well. All I know is they got what they shouldn't have gotten out of this deal with the United States. But we are not part of the United States. We are an independent nation. So, what to do? I made a public announcement that I took my name out of all of this mess at Na'i Aupuni, and I do not recognize them. I'm out in public telling everybody to boycott. Do not vote in this scam. Do not vote in this scam. Some of my friends are doing even more than that. They're not only not voting, but they're burning their ballots. They're setting them on fire. So I told me, if you guys are going to do that, take a picture, man, and put them on Facebook. Get the message out. We need to stop Na'i Aupuni. So the first thing we have to do is try to boycott it. Don't put your money in there. 30,000. That's what they need, 30,000. So even if they have 40,000, my generation, we created the Office of Hawaiian Affairs, and we had 60,000 signed up. 60,000 Hawaiians without any money. We had no 2.5 million or 5 million that OHA is giving out to get 19,000 people signed up. So what I really came here today to do was to talk story with you guys. So I'm going to keep mine short. And I just wanted to make it really clear that somehow, starting today, we need to stop Naya Aupuni. And even they're ramrodding this thing through and they come up with 30,000, they still got to put the end results to the vote of the people. So we need to be fighting them every single step of the way. So we need to keep in contact with one another. Punani, mahalo Punani for inviting me to come here. She invited me to come and talk about some other things before, and now she's invited me to come and talk about this. And I'm more than glad to come to Kauai and talk all the time because my wife is from Kauai, and I can bring her over here and we can drive around, except today was like, the traffic jam was mean today. I figured I was hoping I could make it here in time. Somebody better talk to you guys mayor and fix this problem you guys got over here with overpopulation on Kauai going on here. So that's another subject. So I want to say mahalo, and I want to really get to the question and answer part. And I want to make sure that everybody understands that we need to do something about Na'ia Aupuni, and that is to get rid of this thing. And we can do a much better job as Hawaiians than the state did with the Akaka Bill and Act 195 and all those kinds of state initiatives to make us go where we don't want to go. So mahalo for allowing me to come here and talk story, and we're anxious to see what kind of questions you guys have. Aloha.